Aaron Rodgers had a full interview, 40 minutes long, with Pat MacAfee yesterday, talking about his vaccination status and, clearing the air. Basically, Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. He's going to be out 10 days. He's going to miss the game against the Chiefs. He might miss the game against the Seahawks next week. And back in August, he had an interview where the media asked him if he was vaccinated. He responded with, "Yeah, what he said, I'm immunized," or something along those lines, a synonym to basically being vaccinated. He said, "I'm immunized," and then he said that he wouldn't judge his teammates that aren't vaccinated, kind of alluding to the fact that he himself was vaccinated. And obviously, when he got COVID this week, it became apparent that he is not vaccinated, and that, it kind of made people wonder, like, well, why was he basically lying? Why was he deceiving us back in August? Why did he say that he was immunized? Why did he say that he wouldn't judge his teammates that were not vaccinated? And, he got a lot of heat for that. And no one really gave him heat for not being vaccinated. That wasn't the point of, the discussions. It was more so like, okay, like, why did you try to deceive the media? Why were you being so, why were you in this gray area? Why couldn't you just be like, oh, I'm unvaccinated, or I am vaccinated? There's players in the league that have been that are unvaccinated, like Lamar Jackson and Kirk Cousins and stuff like that. And yeah, they got some heat, but that heat was different. It was kind of like, yo, you're the quarterback of, two teams, the Ravens and the Vikings. Like, why don't you get the vaccination so that if you get COVID, you're less likely to miss games, since you are the quarterback, and the quarterback is the most important player on the team. So if you miss a game or two, then it hurts our chances to make the playoffs, because in the NFL, there's only 17 games a season. So each game matters a lot. Or like in the NBA or somewhere else, there's 82 games. In baseball, there's over 100 games. So if you miss a game, it's not the end of the world. Football, there's only 17 games. If the quarterback, most important player on the team, misses a game, pretty much a loss, because backups are pretty much inept. So if a quarterback misses the game, then it's bad. So please get the vaccination, because you're the leader of the team and you're the best player on the team and you touch the ball on every play. So we don't want you to be out. That was basically the heat that those players got. Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins. And I imagine that's the heat that Aaron Rodgers would have gotten if he just came out and said, I'm not vaccinated. But he didn't. And now that he came out as being unvaccinated and he got COVID and he's going to miss games, that's kind of the heat that he was getting. Like, okay, well, you're hurting your team now. And people were just curious, or like kind of like, why were you being disingenuous with us? Why were you being so murky with your answer? Why were you being so, you're just kind of being weird about it. Like, why couldn't you just be honest? Why couldn't you just say that? And Aaron Rodgers kind of took it. He went on Pat MacAfee and said that, this woke mob was trying to cancel him, this cancel culture and stuff like that. And like, bro, no one was trying to cancel you. Like, Kirk Cousins is not canceled. Like, Lamar Jackson is not canceled. Like, everyone's singing Lamar Jackson's praises for how good he's playing this year. And Kirk Cousins, I've even said that, like, when the Vikings started like 1-3, like, Kirk Cousins was playing some of the best football of his career. He's kind of slowed down the last few weeks, but he started, like, no one was trying to cancel these guys. If anything, there was just a discussion about, you're the quarterback, you should be available for your team. Like, obviously, like, we want you to be available for all the games, and there's a higher chance that you will if you're vaccinated. That was pretty much it. No one was trying to cancel these guys. But, Aaron Rodgers took it kind of personal, took it like that the woke mob was trying to cancel him. And then he did a Martin Luther King quote, and that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, rubbed me the wrong way. It always feels wrong when people, fighting like wrong fights, quote MLK or quote Muhammad Ali. Is just like, come on, bro. Like, don't try to equate what you're doing to what they did. Like, it's not even close. And to quote MLK, and he didn't even stand on his beliefs. Like I was reading what people were saying. Like, yeah, he didn't even stand on what he believed. He lied, and then he got caught, and then he acted kind of bold, acting like he took a stand. Like, no, you didn't. You were deceitful, and you lied to the media, and then he was spreading false information. And then the icing on the cake was, he said he took advice from Joe Rogan. And who's Joe Rogan? He's a great podcaster. He has probably the most followed podcast of all time, but he's not a medical professional. He's taking consultation from Joe Rogan. So he's taking ivermectin as a cure to COVID. And it was just incredible. Like, I don't know. There's no other word to say it than just incredible. And it goes to show that, NFL players, athletes as a whole, like, you more than ever, like, obviously it's great when they talk about awareness and they say, the stuff you want to hear, and they bring awareness to stuff. But they're just regular people, man. They're just like, just as much as you could find like your uncle, or like you could find, one of your friends, and then it got discovered during the pandemic that, oh my God, some of my colleagues or friends or coworkers, like, these people think very differently than me, or they're kind of like believing all these conspiracy theories, and they just want to hear whatever they already believe. Confirmation bias, like, they're just looking for something to reiterate what they already believe. And that's no different from NFL, NBA, from anywhere else. Like, they're just regular people, and just like regular people, they could be completely misinformed, like just dumb. They could just be dumb like other people. It doesn't matter if you go to Cal or if you go to Berkeley. Like, they could just be dumb. And it was shocking, and it's ridiculous. I think one of the quotes that got me like the most frustrated, or really caught my attention there, was at the end, like in the last probably 8 minutes of his 40-minute spiel. He said that if this was the flu, he would be playing this weekend because he feels great. And it's just insane to me that we're 18 months in to this pandemic, 500,000 people dead in the world, over 400,000 dead, or more than 1 million dead in the world, I believe, and over 400,000 dead in the U.S. And this man is still saying that if it was the flu, he would be playing this weekend. That was just shocking. That was kind of tone deaf. It was insane to me. Like, really? Like, are we still using the flu comparison 18 months into this pandemic? Like, come on, man. If this was the flu, I would be playing this weekend. Well, it's not the flu, man. It's not the flu. If it was the flu, we wouldn't be in this pandemic. If it was the flu, they wouldn't have shut down New York and everywhere else. Like, if it was the flu, like, we wouldn't have stayed home all this time. Like, come on, man. Why are we still using the flu debate 18 months in? And then there's other reports. He said that he couldn't take the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine because he has an allergy to something that's inside both of them. And Ralph Vacciano said that if he did have an allergy, the NFL would have granted his request for an exemption. And there's no common ingredient on the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine other than the sucrose, which is the sugar, and the thomethamine. And there are variants of the vaccine that do not have the thomethamine. So the idea that he had to choose between, that he only had the option of the Johnson & Johnson, it's either because he's misinformed or he's trying to mislead people. And it's pretty obvious that he's just trying to mislead people, because with all the things that he was saying, he's clearly informed. He has his own health. He has his own research team. He's doing what's best for him. So overall, this interview was just shocking. It just proves that, professional athletes are just regular people too. Just as regular people could have crazy ideas, could be misinformed, could be part of Facebook groups that, feed lies, that just continue to build whatever case they think they have. Professional players could too. They're just regular people that could just be just as dumb, just as, blinded, just as misinformed, just as cuckoo. for a better word, as the regular population. I'm looking at, Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving, and it just highlights that. Like, they're just regular people that could just be dumb as everyone else. And it's kind of sad that the MVP of the league thinks this way. And I think, unshockingly to most, this health company in Wisconsin already cut ties with Aaron Rodgers. And we'll see if anyone else cuts ties with him. Like, I'm looking at you, State Farm. Like, is State Farm going to cut ties with him? Like, we'll see what the fallout is. But it was just shocking. It was shocking that he used the MLK reference or quote. It was shocking that he consulted to Joe Rogan for his health advice. It was shocking that he's taking horse tranquilizer to cure COVID. And it was just 40 minutes of wow. I couldn't believe it. But let me know what you guys think. Obviously, everyone could interpret this differently. Some people are going to side with Aaron Rodgers and be like, he's standing up for us. That's exactly what I believe in too. And there's going to be people that don't care. That are just going to be like, bro, like, just get well and come back and play. And there's other people like me that kind of took it like, whoa, that was shocking. Like, I didn't know you thought that way, Aaron Rodgers. But it is what it is. Hopefully you don't take none of this misinformation and apply it to yourself.